And back with Barry Kay, we want to discuss Dr. Campbell for a moment. He was a great friend of yours, and you were there the other night when he actually had the stroke.
That's right.
He was just a good person for everything. I didn't know him personally, but I understand he was just one of the finest humans on earth.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'd only gotten to know him pretty well since about September, October. Him and his wife were at Art on the Square. If you were there,
Yeah.
right? Remember in September?
Right.
And so I had a good little chat with them. And that was when he told me about how their church group was meeting at Lake Ida. And I've just recently been going on Saturday nights to their worship services at Lake Ida. And that was when he had the stroke. It was this past Saturday night.
It's tragic. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. Now, did you tell him you're going to New York again?
I am. You know, you always joke about my car.
Right.
Well, remember after Hurricane Sandy hit, I drove up there and left it for some of the
That little red thing that you have to pedal?
It's in New York City as I speak.
New York City?
New York City. It's been there since December. And so I'm going back.
You hope it's still there.
I'm going back next week to get to visit friends, play a few gigs. And,
so you're going to play all the way back?
I'm going to, yeah, I've got a little mini tour set up that I'm excited about.
Barry Kay hits the highway.
I'm on tour. It's like not too much, but I'm going to leave New York. I'm going to play somewhere in Pennsylvania. Play somewhere the next night in Virginia.
So all by yourself?
Yeah.
So you're just playing to stay somewhere?
Yeah, trying to.
Kind of what they call it, couch surfing?
Hope the money will pay the motel bill or something.
So you drove up there when the hurricane hit last year,
yeah,
up that way?
A couple of weeks after.
To help out?
Yeah.
And you left your car?
Right, and I flew back, yeah.
I don't know, Barry, that's one of the cars somebody would steal.
Yeah, they could literally pick it up and take it away, walk off.
All right. Well, it's good to see you. Have a safe trip. We'll hear more from you later on in the program, but go ahead.
If you're interested, barrykmusic.com. I'll try to keep y'all updated and posted. If you want to see like exactly where I'm playing and what's going on, I'll try to keep barrykmusic.com.
All right. Well, let's hear another hot and heavy hit from Barry Kay.
Thank you. I guess I should do an original since you asking me to talk all personal and stuff. This is from the new Jude album. Just came out this year. Sometimes life isn't fair. I'm sitting playing my guitar while you are not so very far away. Beneath the concrete slab, I'd gladly give up all I had if it could help you find your way to safety. But even if I make it into Haiti, much more than the ocean divides you and me. Discrimination's gone, for we no longer live in bigotry. Now you're the same color as me. White from the rubble, finally set free from all sin, safe from the boxes we were in. Down here everybody's skin is white from the rubble. Up in the Tower Twins back in the 80s with my friends, looked out on New York City's foggy wonder. 14 years later when they fell, we prayed they'd all escape that hell, but it was too much to dig out from under. Now every time I'm visiting that city, I wonder how so few could kill so many. Discrimination's gone, for we no longer live in bigotry. Now you're the same color as me. White from the rubble, finally set free from all sin, saved from the boxes we were in. Down here everybody's skin is white from the rubble. Oh, let the smallest house be mine, the grander mansions by design will be unlikely to crawl out from under. gone, for we no longer live in bigotry. Now you're the same color as me. White from the rubble, finally set free from all sin, safe from the boxes we were in. Down here everybody's skin is white from the rubble. Discrimination's gone, for we no longer live in bigotry. Now you're the same color as me. White from the rubble, finally set free from all sin, safe from the boxes we were in. Down here everybody's skin is white from the rubble.
Good, Barry. All right. Barry K.
Good job.
The Traveling Man.
He's playing that thing like Jose Feliciano.
Yeah, I know it. What's that movie with
We'll just start calling him Jose.
the guy that carried the guitar case?
Banderas?
Yeah.
Antonio.
Antonio, what's his name?
Banderas.
Banderas, yeah.
Last name.
Hey, Bobby, you working a little bit with the Madison Weekly. Decatur Daily owns that now. Doing a good job over there, Madison.
I've been a freelance writer for, this is my, I added it up the other day. This may be my 18th or 19th year as a freelance writer. You know, I did most of those with the Huntsville Times until they changed last year.
How did you come up on this idea to interview London, Alabama's all-time greatest football player?
Yeah, he's, you know, a Butkus Award winner, and there's one other award he won as a linebacker for Alabama, national champion.
But he's caught a lot of flack lately for bad decisions.
Yeah, you know, when I found out, well, first of all, he has lived in Madison for the last couple of years.
Really?
He was in a place over on County Line Road for the last year or so. And then while he was playing last year with the Raiders, his new wife, Capri is her name, Capri Knox, who, by the way, was also a track athlete at Alabama.
Really?
And they went to school together, and that's how they met. So they've been knowing each other for about 6 years. So anyway, while he's off playing, she goes scouring, looking for a home in Madison. So she found one, and
right near our church.
That's right, and she took care of all the details, did everything, and so when he comes back off after the season, they move in this house. So.
Well, let me ask you, since you set it up like that, and I know everybody wants to know.
It turned out pretty good. I think the article is fine. It's not because I wrote it. I think it's just, it tells his story, and he tries to set the record straight. And one of the lines, that's why the headline says, "Sometime the devil wins," because he was talking about his troubled life, and he says, hey, you know, you do things a lot, and sometimes the devil wins.
Well, let me ask you this, getting to that point.
All right.
Why is it every time he comes home, well, not every time, but when he comes home, he gets in his Escalade or whatever he does, goes to Decatur and gets in trouble? Why is that? And I'm sure you asked him that.
I did, and he admits that he's made a lot of mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, and he's made his. And that's why he says sometimes the devil wins.
Pride.
He's still very close with his good friends. His friends, you know, here's a guy, and he told me that he's been on his own since he was 15 years old. 15 years old.
Now, what do you
with
mean
all
on
this
his own?
That he was basically out of his house with his parents. You know, he doesn't keep up with his dad anymore. He did talk about his mom. His mom currently lives in Hartselle. And he's trying to get close with her again. But here's a guy though that, what's that?
He raised himself.
Basically, and he was just around wrong. You know, and his friends were good people. Don't get me wrong. And he says that I've got some great friends that really have taken care of me through the years. But you get into these situations and things. And also another thing he mentioned, when you have coming into some money, a lot of people
you got new friends.
That's right.
Yeah,
a lot of
wants to
people
be your
think
friend.
you owe them money.
And
And
look
they
who I got
want the
hanging around
money.
me. They think I got money. Look over at that bunch.
Well, they look like they need money.
Well, but thanks to them, I got a little bit.
But Orlando, he opened up a lot about that. It's an exclusive interview. He was very kind, very polite, very cordial, very intelligent sounding.
We got some video of him in action.
I talked to him again yesterday, and
no, you got his cell phone.
huh? Oh yeah.
Okay, let me have it.
No, I can't do
Huh?
that. I can't do
He tell you not to give it out?
I'll
Okay,
tell
let me
you,
ask
when he was at Alabama, he was just a menace. Man.
How
Look at that.
how did Nick Saban keep him under control? Because I knew when he was at high school, he had kind of a bad reputation.
Yeah, he did, and he talks a lot about that, and you'll read about it in the article. Saban was like a father figure to him. He says on the practice field and during the games, Nick Saban is as intense as anybody you're ever going to see, and we all know that by watching it. But he says off the field, he is a very kind-hearted, just a regular guy, and he took him under, he was a father figure to Orlando while he was at Alabama.
Good.
He chose to leave early, which in his sense was a smart thing to do. He goes into the NFL, was a high-round draft pick. Matter of fact, he was the number 8 overall pick in the NFL by the Raiders, and he's done well. Now, this past year, he admits that he didn't play as well, and he did get benched. A couple days ago, he got word that he can go shopping for a trade, which tells me the Raiders still think he has valuable assistance there somewhere.
What, $20 million guarantee?
Yeah, and he just wasn't released. You know, he says you guys can go shop for a trade. So I guess he's in the process. And Pat Dye Jr., by the way, is his agent.
Has he been barred from the University of Alabama campus?
No, not that I know of. Not that I know of. He says he still goes down there, and he's
I had heard that.
still close with all the guys.
But I like to spread them.
He's gone down there and you know, kind of worked out with them occasionally, but he's done well, and he continues to.
Where did you interview him?
I can't tell you that.
What, you gonna kill me or
Might
something?
be a
What, the
secret
cops?
hiding spot.
He might.
May tell where he hangs out or
What,
something.
y'all ride around in his car?
No.
not gonna tell
Matter
you.
of fact, there is a car of some sort. My parents asked me about this the other. There is like an SUV of some sort running around Huntsville that's got Oakland Raider stuff all over it. And I asked him, I said, you know, is that your car? And he laughed. He goes, no, I wouldn't have anything like that. But he's hoping to move on to another team in NFL. But Orlando McClain, my experiences with him, he's very cordial, very nice. He understands that he's made some mistakes in his life. And he says
Well, we've all done that.
his wife has changed him dramatically. He is more mellow. He's kinder. He's got this nice house now with a swimming pool in the back. It's a swimming pool. He's just hoping to make a change in his life and move on and make it a positive move.
Yeah, is he looking for some river property?
He might.
Or a white convertible?
He may
By the
be.
way, let me plug that. If y'all still looking for a white convertible, it will warm up, believe me. You will need one. Super deal, only 74,250 miles on it, unless Tom puts another couple hundred on it this weekend. For sale, beautiful, been garage kept for 10 years. Only 7,000 miles put on it in 10 years. Bobby, you want to pick up some women? Right there
Is that it?
A vehicle for you.
Well, sell it to me for about $19.99, and I'll take it off your
What
hands.
did Orlando have to say about the current Alabama status down there?
He said as long as Nick Saban is coaching at Alabama, they will have a chance to win every year, bar none. The guy's just fabulous. He's got this. He's developed this scheme and just mentality. He gets the best out of you. No matter what you're doing, be it in class, on the field, in the practice, in the film room, it's boom. Saban gets the best out of you, and he doesn't take anything less.
How long did the interview last with him?
About 45 minutes.
Anything surprise you about the interview with Orlando? I mean, anything shock you? I mean, you've interviewed a bunch of sport athletes, and more than anybody will ever do in this area.
Matter of fact, I did an interview this week with a Green Bay Packer player who's working out in Madison. His name is M.D. Jennings, and he was the defensive
Don't divulge
back.
no more than you have to now. It's Mr. Top Secret.
No, and M.D. Jennings is the defensive back that controversial play last year in the NFL when they had the makeshift refs, the one in the end zone where he intercepted and they gave it to the receiver. But anyway, M.D. Jennings, I'll have something with him in the next week or so. Anything? No. He was very open to just about everything I asked him and threw at him. You know, he did tell me right up front. He says, now, if you ask me something that I can't answer, I'll just tell you right up front I can't. And I said, well, that's fine. I mean, I respect that.
Now, is the Madison Weekly out available now, or is this just hot off the presses?
It came out 2 days ago.
Okay.
So it's out. You can get it throughout Madison.
So
It's a
you're
free
known as
display.
Mr. Sports.
Yeah, I have a
do an
column
article.
in there, and I also have some info. If you get the paper, make sure you read my column because I have more information in there about Orlando. He has 2 children, and he's wanting to better his life for his kids. He says, you know, before now it was all about me, and it's no longer all about me. It's about my kids and my family. And he's moved into the Madison community. He's going to take it slow in the community. And
Did he ever say
has some
what
reasons
happened
for
to him
that.
in Decatur, write F-U on the ticket?
Just being
Did you ask him
excited.
about that?
I did. his comment, and I didn't get into depth with that information with him, and it just didn't feel right. A lot of, I've been doing these interviews now for 40 years, and you know when to ask another question and know when to leave it alone. He basically just said, well, that was just a crazy, and he says there's a lot of that stuff is a misnomer, and I was innocent on that. But he also stated, and he quickly stated, he said, Bob, I've made mistakes several times in my life, and I want to do better. And I've got to believe him. I mean, and I talked to, there's another player that's from Decatur, and I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but he's an NFL player. I've talked with him the other day, and he's real good friends with Rolando. And he said Rolando is really a great guy. A lot of this stuff, he's just been around at the wrong place at the wrong time. And we've all been there. We've all been in those situations where you're in the wrong place at the wrong time.
No, not me.
Associated, yeah, right. And
last week, no.
This player did make a comment. He says, "Well, I'm surprised he talked to you because Rolando doesn't do a lot of these." And so I have this exclusive interview. I feel privileged. I thanked him. I've thanked him numerous times since we did the interview.
Well, he knew you from.
He did, yeah. I had met Rolando several years ago when he was in Decatur High when I was working for SportsMed because we took care of Decatur High and all those players. I met him then. He said he didn't remember meeting me, but that's okay. But he knew who I was, yes.
See, people, unforgettable interviews, Bobby. You interviewed Muhammad Ali. How many people can say that?
I boxed Muhammad Ali, a little rascal. Matter of fact, I put him into retirement.
Yeah, you messed him up. Messed him up.
Yeah, he knocked me out and called me the tip. And I have it on video. I'll never forget it. He called me the Great White Dope. Yeah. Typical Ali.
He ain't the only one's called you that.
But anyway, Rolando McClain, my impressions of Rolando, he's a young man that came into some great good at a young age. He grew up in a troubled neighborhoods, troubled family life, and he's trying to make good.
Well, maybe I'll see him at church. He's just right down the road.
He said, he told me he's looking for a new church.
Yeah.
He is. He and his wife,
and I'll call him.
And he says that he and his wife, Capri, read the Bible every day. And they have these two children. Matter of fact, when I was trying to interview him, trying to set this up.
Let's go and take over, Bobby.
I'm sorry. Well,
forget this last song. Bobby's going to
No. When I was trying to line up this interview, he and I talked several times. He said, well, I can't do it right now. I've got to take care of, he says, I've got to take care of my children. I'm sorry, they're all screaming and yelling. I'll see you later. I said, okay.
So I got to give a shout out to my buddy Don Simons. He stopped by.
Hope he does well.
Thanks, Orlando. Yesterday.
Thanks for the interview. He did good.
Well, when you coming back with us?
Get the medicine weekly.
Yeah, all right. I got to give a shout out to Don Simons. He was over here yesterday. Y'all go by there, any gold or silver you want to get shed of. He's the man. We'll talk more with Greg and them next week about things going on in Matthew about the run coming up in 2 weeks. No snow?
No snow. If you see some flurries, lucky you.
Barry, have a safe trip back from New York. We're not going to be able to get to this last song. Bobby ate up the last 5 minutes. So
let him sing it going out.
Yeah, he was ready to.
Let him sing going out.
Now you're taking over directing the show. As always.
Bobby back.
Good to have you back.
Glad to have you back.
Man in black. All right, we're through. We'll see y'all bright and early next week. Y'all have a good weekend. It's going to rain. Watch the tournament all weekend. I guess nothing else on.
Oh, I'm sure you'll find something.
Watch reruns of me coming up on Monday. We'll see y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Sorry, Barry.